About 99% of Luxembourg citizens speak multiple languages, according to US Census Bureau. They spoke French, German, and Luxembourgese. Based on a stat by the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, Luxembourg managed to save more than 40% of its GDP within 25 years. So, how can I jump to the conclusion that their economic growth is a result of the high number of multilingual speakers? Ladies and gentlemen, before I start my speech, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Melani Abel Sitorus, and you can call me Melani. I'm a student from Universitas Sumatera Utara, majoring in food science and technology. As I stand here right now, I'd like to talk about two different yet important fields which benefits when they are combined are often to talk about but still not quite understood by most people. Language and economy. The combinations, benefit, and correlations that I'm going to tell you are surprisingly unaware by many people, yet I find it very fascinating. So how does language can be linked to the economy? Does it significantly affect economic growth? Well, to answer this question, I'll start with the benefits of being multilingual speakers from both individual and company's perspective first. Then I'll draw the connection to how language we use can affect economic behavior. As an individual, becoming fluent in another language will improve our empathy, allow us to have a better cultural understanding, and result in a more efficient brain. By learning a new language, we encourage our brain to take a look at life from a different perspective. So we're not only extend our vocabulary, but we also add a new way of thinking about things. And as a result, bilingual people tend to become better at handling complex information, especially in higher stress situations such as conflict resolutions. Since bilingual people also practice switching between two different language sets, they also become better at multitasking, even if those tasks have nothing to do with language. Ladies and gentlemen, as those benefits we took for ourselves, it also leads to the benefits for the companies. We always wonder why companies tend to hire people with language skill more than people who don't. People will simply assume it is because companies want to expand their market globally, which is correct. But there's a deep explanation behind that. It is because hiring multilingual employees is a smart growth strategy for globally minded organizations. A study has been conducted in World Economic Forum to find out whether multilingualism can really boost economic growth. The study involves small to medium-sized companies in Denmark, Sweden, Germany, and France. And they found out that those companies which invested more in languages were able to export more goods. A German company in this study invested heavily in multilingual employees. As a result, they managed to expand their market to 10 countries. While companies that invested less said they miss out on contracts. This study indicates that to become part of a culture, you must control the language that the culture happens to be conducted in. It is a ticket to understand their culture, their economic behavior, and their behavior in decision making. So, employees who have grown up speaking more than one language understand the communication barriers that occurs when two different languages or two different cultures engage with each other. They are definitely high skill workers. They are definitely have the advantage of thriving in fast moving and fast growing environment. So I was wondering if Luxembourg isn't the only country whose citizens speak multiple languages, how can language be their essential resource to boost its economy? This leads me to my main point. What if there's a categorization in language? What if how we think and plan for the future could be shaped by the kind of language that we use? An economic professor at UCLA, Kit Chan, has a theory that language is divided into two types: future language and futureless language. The grammar in these languages is different in whether it tells the future apart from the present or it doesn't. For example, a German speaker can naturally predict rain using present tense, saying "Morgen regnet es," which translates to "it rains tomorrow." In contrast, English would require the use of future tense such as will or is going to, as in "it will rain tomorrow." Through the example, we know that German as futureless language treats the present and the future as the same. Hence, we'll start to act like the future is no different from the present and will consider it to be just as important as the present. We might make trade-offs in the present for the benefit of our future. While on the other side, English as future language makes us see the present and the future as something very separated and distant. We might be more inclined to disregard consequences. Since the future is separated from the present and we are always in the present, it's like the future will never arrive in a sense. As saving involves current costs for the benefits of future rewards, it would make saving become harder to do. And to prove this theory, Chen gathered data from several houses from different countries with the same income, family structure, educational levels, and religious belief. The only difference is their language. It occurs that families with futureless language speakers are 30% more likely to save in any year. By the time they retire, futureless language speakers holding constant their income are going to retire with 25% more in savings, while those with future language speakers only save money 69% as often as futureless language speakers. And the amazing coincidence is Chen categorized Luxembourg languages as futureless languages. So not only Luxembourg speak multiple languages, but they also speak futureless languages. Therefore, it makes sense why they have such a prosperous economy. First, the language teach them to treat the present and the future equally important, so it makes them save more. Second, their multilingualism allows them to understand a foreign culture and foreign countries' economic behavior so that their goods can penetrate the global market. They have the world's second highest GDP per capita, the highest minimum wage in Europe, and the employment rate is the lowest in all of Europe and has been for 40 years. And taking everything into account, language can be a strong predictor of saving or spending behavior. How we speak about time, how language forces us to speak about time, affects us. It is a good thing that you can speak two languages, Indonesian and English. However, as globalization impact become more unavoidable, mastering English will be considered average. Luxembourg's success in the economy makes us aware of how important it is to acquire more than two languages. The choice in language you wanted to learn will shape the way you think and plan for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, learning new languages can be slow, meandering, uncomfortable, and requires a lot of hard work. But the outcomes will make such a huge impact and will be paid off in time. And as for those of you who value languages less and find it extremely difficult, well, the good news is you don't have to be fluent to feel a positive impact. Thank you very much.